Oh, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. You have so you're the one bringing the thing to the table, right?
Um, yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
So I guess,
Okay.
uh,
Are you ready?
yeah.
Okay. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, Brandon.
Let's do this thing. Start
All
that
right,
time.
there you go. Oh man, that always happens. Like I press it and then it
I
doesn't.
love that we it's now this like slow get ready, and then we
Yeah,
do it as this real that moment between hi Andrew, hi Brent, and let's start this timer. Uh, and you finding the button to push it is
right.
a Yonko. That's a Yonko right there.
Exactly. Oh,
Especially
yeah, the other thing I just noticed is that I had changed the name of this, but then when we started the the meeting again, then it went back to this one. What did I have before? Oh yeah, time.
compelling stuff, real compelling stuff, Andrew.
Exactly.
Okay, you have a subject. What's your subject?
Okay. Um, so this interesting thing,
You okay? You're
yeah.
losing.
I realized that that misspelling was going to bother me if I didn't fix it. So
Okay, cool. Have you fixed? Do you need to take a breath?
yeah. All
Okay.
right. I think
We
we're
are
good now.
live. You understand that we are recording right now, right?
I know. I think what I think I don't take. Never mind. All right. Let's just get into this.
This is amazing. I don't know what we had a full like we always do our business beforehand. We
We had a
check
great conversation. Yeah.
and then we were like, cool, okay, let's start this. And you fell apart. Like
I
you
know. Well, and what's weird is that last week we were just talking about how when you turn the camera on, then
yeah,
you're
you have
supposed
to
to be
lock in
on.
and you just
This is the total opposite.
we're recording. Like, are people gonna see this? Theoretically.
All right. Okay, all right. So basically, something I've been thinking about recently, my watch that I got, it has this timer that automatically comes on when I start washing my hands. So, so
Whoa.
yeah, so a couple of weird things have been happening. So yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just I have no commentary about this introduction. This is amazing. It's technology and art, and sometimes the
Yeah,
technology shows up in such a weird way. Tell me about your clock washing.
yeah. So I mean, it's just one of those automatic things that happens. So like, I think that it's somehow like a motion sensor, and maybe even like an audio sensor, when it hears the water or something like that, or maybe a combination. But inevitably, what happens is, start washing your hand. This little timer comes on for 20 seconds, and it's really cute. It has this little like bubbly thing, and it's like making washing hands fun.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
But a couple of weird things have been happening because of that. So the first thing is that you notice that you, like me, and everybody else, like no one washes their hands for 20 seconds. That's the first thing. Like no one does that. Um, and so like when I'm in the bathroom and like, I'm washing my hands and there's someone else washing their hands there, I'm like, uh-oh, uh-oh.
You need
I
to
need
tell
to,
them, you're like, hey, just so you know, we're on a timer.
yeah, exactly.
So I know it's not 20 seconds.
Right. Um, but the other weird thing that's been happening, and this is kind of what I wanted to like start the conversation with, is that I I feel like that my watch is judging me, you know, because if I don't, if I try to like, stop washing my hands a little early, then first of all, the timer actually stops, like so it can tell that I've stopped washing my hands. And then this little, if I don't continue, then this little text comes up and says, washing your hands for 20 seconds can keep you healthy and clean or something like that. um and so uh what I if that happens, then I'm like, okay, you told me, I'll finish washing my hands. Okay, thanks watch mom, thanks for telling me. But then
Uh-huh.
sometimes I'll trick the watch into thinking that I finished washing my hands. So like
Wait, stop.
I yeah,
Stop.
I've walked away from the sink. I've walked away from the sink and I get that little message. I'm like, oh God. And then I'll start like moving my hands in the washing direction and like the timer will go down and then it'll say, good job. And I'm like, yes, good job.
So you did
So
the equivalent of running your toothbrush under the water so you didn't have to brush your teeth for a computer.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I feel beholden to this computer, that's that's judging me for washing my hands.
Um, I you I don't know how to explain the terror I feel in my heart and the complexity of, well, yeah, we have robot overlords, but they're kind of dumb.
Mhm.
Like, like, oh,
Right.
oh, how do you? Oh, Skynet! Like, how do you beat Skynet? You just pretend to wash your hands for like
Right.
a couple
Exactly.
seconds, and it's fine, and it can't see you.
Mhm.
And I also like, what does it feel like to be judged by a not? Can you turn this off, or is it? Did you pick this life?
Well, no, I mean, it's part of like the default settings. I'm sure you can turn it off. Uh, but I'm actually using it, which so although I'm using it except for when the times when I feel like it's judging me, so,
Except when you're a dirty, disgusting human being and you don't wash
exactly.
your hands
And I
20
don't
seconds
wash my hands. Yeah,
and you don't want
exactly.
to tell anybody. Does does it play like a happy little tune when you're done?
There's this little like ding, and then it goes, nice one, or some like
And how much
some.
pride do you feel when that happens?
Oh, I mean, I feel pride. I actually do. Yeah, yeah.
You beat the
It's
robot.
like I feel accomplished, and it's like it's weird, and like I mean, I think some of it, you know, I hear this term like gamification like thrown around, and part of it's that, it's like, okay, I'm gonna finish this mission, washing my hands, um, and I think that's a lot of, what technology brings to a lot of what we're doing is that gamification of things, especially now because it's like everything is entertainment. Like even washing my hands is entertainment. Um,
No, I agree, and it's one of those things I think about a lot. Like also like I think about gamification a lot because like people get blamed for like playing video games, gambling addictions, and that type of stuff. They are in a mood. There's a whole one act play that happened around me. Um, so but like it's built. Yeah, this is something I talk about a lot. I've probably talked about it before. You know the Tide Pods?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, those are poison, right?
Mhm.
But you put one of them in your hand, and your brain goes, "Eat this, eat this, eat this, eat this." And there's two
Right.
reasons that's happening, and both are important to think about. One is, I think what Edgar Allan Poe called the imp, and it's the idea of like if you stand on the next to the Grand Canyon with someone, your brain will go push this person into the Grand Canyon, push them in, push them
Mm.
in, just
Mhm.
do it. Um, and like we just have that thing, and there's reasons behind it. So that's one thing. The other
Mhm.
reason behind it is because our brains are hardwired to like it's dense, it smells sweet, it's
Mm.
shiny. Like it,
Right,
and
right.
like our brains are hardwired, and we have all this stuff in the front. That's probably not how brains work, but that's how they told me brains work. That like understands that it's poison, but uh we don't know it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's an important thing. And I think one of the things about gamification is like we've gotten so good at training. Like we are a creature that trains itself and each other to like give Pavlovian responses to things.
Right. Mhm.
And like we've found out that our what we want to be safer, so we're gonna wash our hands, which is good. We want to
Mhm.
wash our hands for 20 seconds. Why 20 seconds? Someone said 20 seconds. So someone said 20 seconds because there was some science behind it at some point. Is that
Yeah.
science still good? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So is the science pretty good? So then someone was like, "Well, we're gonna train a dude. We're gonna make our watch make a noise that we know you're gonna react to positively because of something primitive in your brain. And then you're gonna wear that watch. Now you want to wash your hands for 20 seconds, or you want to be the type of person who washes his hands for
Right.
20 seconds even if you don't necessarily have time. So you end up tricking the thing so you can still hear the ding and get the good job. So we've set all this stuff up just so that we can trick ourselves. And like I feel bad for people who have like food addiction and gambling problems because there's a primitive part of our brain that goes, eat, maybe you'll get more. Dude, you'll never know when your next meal is. That is so hard to turn off.
Yeah.
And like if you can't survive holding a if your brain goes eat a Tide Pod, which you know is poison, how the hell are you supposed to survive Doritos?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I think about Doritos. This is a weird one, man. This is a
Uh,
weird Yonko. But I think about Doritos a lot. I don't eat Doritos anymore because I don't do milk. But like nothing in the world naturally tastes of Doritos.
mhm.
Doritos is a reference to itself and nothing else. They're like, oh, it's nacho cheese Doritos, but not really.
But
Doritos
yeah,
taste like Doritos. And
exactly.
Doritos click all these things that your brain wants. And like after you have Doritos, who who wants a grape? Just a
Right.
grape compared to a Doritos are amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think with a lot of that, uh, I mean, processed food especially. I mean, it does it hits all those boxes, that you're talking about, where it fulfills a certain immediate need. Um, but I mean, like for me with Doritos and like other food like that, like okay, it hits that immediate need, but then you immediately regret it, or
Yeah.
I immediately regret it almost immediately afterwards.
Dude,
And
I know we're talking about food now. I will say one of the things I think would be helpful for people
mm,
if we taught people that from a young age, and I'm not talking I'm talking nutrition, but this is my
mm,
plea, is that feeling if you feel bad after eating something, it doesn't taste good. That
mm,
part of feeling afterwards is part of taste.
yeah,
And I think if like you get that in your head, you have a shot. Like you still
mm,
your brain will do what your brain will do, and you'll do what you can to survive.
yeah,
But if you go, hey, don't when you're like, that's part of the taste product. Maybe we'd be in a slightly better place, in the world.
yeah. Well, and it's also interesting, because my son's a little bit older now, and I think when you're younger, what I've noticed with him, and I'm sure with other kids as well. I mean, you have that desire for the sweet food, and salty, and that. I mean, anything that's gross. I mean, like fast food, and that's what you crave. I think what most kids kind of crave. And so honestly, like it was really difficult, like trying to uh have him eat healthy food when he was younger. But what's interesting now is that now that he's a little older, like he's making really healthy decisions. And I don't know if that's happening because, or at least, when I was younger, I was like, don't eat that, don't eat that.
Yeah.
Maybe part of that was, or maybe he's just
Take a little joy. Say yes a little bit. Why not?
okay. All right, so I'll take part
Yeah,
credit for it,
you know what? Here, I got something for you. You ready? Are you
All right.
ready? Ding. Good job. How's that
Thank you.
feel?
Thank you. That feels good. That feels good.
You know what's interesting is so I'm plant-based. I eat
Mhm,
we can talk about it later. It's uninteresting, but I'm plant-based. And I'm pretty yeah, capitalism seems like a bad idea sometimes.
mhm,
Um but I was walking down I needed to buy some shirts and to do stuff and Walmart was the only place to have it and it sucks if I'm going to Walmart. So I'm going to Walmart and I smelled McDonald's,
mhm.
right? Now I understand for a lot of reasons Walmart McDonald's is peak bad guy stuff. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? It's not good for the environment, it's not good for the people, it's not good for the
Yeah.
workers, it's not good, it's not good, it's not good. I haven't had I haven't had meat in 4 years. I haven't, really eaten animal byproduct unless I can meet the animal in 3 years, right?
Mhm.
That's just as a note, that's my rule. I'll eat like eggs and stuff if I can shake the tiny chicken's hand. I want to be able to shake his little hand
Uh-huh.
and I'll eat honey if it's local. Those are the
Yeah.
exceptions. And like hunting makes sense. Is
Yeah.
if it makes sense to explain that instead of just doing it. Like I might not eat hunting food, but like also, dude, I killed a deer with my car once, and I was just like, well, that's vermin. That's how it goes, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I get it. I get I don't fully get it, but there's a complexity to it, and you respect it. But I
Mhm,
was walking there to this McDonald's to buy some shirts, and it was like a early fall day, and I smelled the McDonald's, and I was back. to
Mhm.
like my childhood, like immediately nostalgic, like just there. And I was like, wow. And like the joy it brought me.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like, I grew up pretty poor, so McDonald's was a special treat day, and I haven't had McDonald's in forever. So I
Mhm.
had like my special treat day brain kicked in,
Mhm.
and that's amazing that I can know all that. It's the Tide Pod again. It's the Tide
Yeah,
Pod nostalgia, you know?
exactly.
Like it's just, and you can't escape it. Like it is ingrained in you.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Well, and it's also let's just keep talking. We'll
You
because there's
you botched the beginning, you wanna fix the end? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I really extended that just to nail it at the end, but you can keep.
Well, no, but I think you're right, and the other thing is like, I mean, as much as I'm sort of like in the same place as you. Like, I mean, I never go to McDonald's, that kind of thing, and but as a parent, it's like, when you have like a 4-year-old kid who's like cranky and hungry, and I mean, and there's a McDonald's right there, uh, then I mean, we stopped, and it's like there so yeah, I think you make decisions, and sometimes based on circumstance, and they're sometimes in contrast to your morals, but
Yeah, I get it, yeah. Well, it's
yeah,
also, it makes it funny that because you don't wanna go to McDonald's, you very rarely go to McDonald's, so therefore you again made McDonald's the treat.
exactly.
It's just one of those things, like, I just we're going a little off. It's fine, we're talking a lot. The McDonald's dropped that toy, the
Right.
new
Yep.
adult Happy Meal.
Yep.
I'm not buying it, but someone else got it and got a second, and I'm like, "That's in my house."
Exactly.
Like like, they
Yeah.
got me, man, like, even when they don't got you, they got you, and,
Uh,
like,
yeah,
it's just,
exactly. Yeah.
what do you do? Oh, look, it's our one of our things is there. Look at that. That's a good place to stop. You see it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that we might want to come back to at some point, you mentioned earlier, like someone decided 20 seconds was a good time.
Yeah.
That's an interesting topic as well, because the other thing along those lines is like the 10,000 steps, so
Yeah.
that's the other thing like almost every watch does now these days, is like record 10,000 steps. Yeah. And I think I remember reading something probably a year or two ago. It's like that's a good starting place, but it's based on like science from like 30 or 40 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that came into pop culture, and I think a lot of those things just become part of the culture, and there's new research and things like that that's probably a little more relevant,
But
but
it is one of those things, like, once you learn 10,000, and 10,000 is such a good number,
it
like,
is. Yeah, yeah,
10,000 hours, that my when this started because of the 10,000 images I was doing,
yeah,
and,
exactly. Yeah,
like, 10,000 sounds so high, but somehow somewhat attainable that we are just obsessed
yeah,
with that.
exactly. Yeah,
That's something we should talk about in the future, is numbers we're all obsessed with.
yeah, I think these are all good topics, so
This is We are such nerds.
I know. It's
Huge.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's all we can do. Okay. Bye, Andrew.
All right, peace.